All right, guys, so I'm riding around with Lieutenant Brian Dowd today. He is the section commander for the Youth Services section.
We're a section of the Investigative Division. We're called initially, going back years ago, with the Juvenile Detective Bureau. Right? So, and that was because our primary focus then was investigating juvenile-related crimes. So YSS now has become, it's more of a proactive philosophy. It's preventative, and we do that in a form of providing school resource officers for the 2 high schools and the 2 middle schools.
Right. Okay, so we're pulling up to Parsippany High School. We're going to go talk to Detective Lenahan. The kids call him Lenny. So he's got a great rapport with the kids, and he's an all-around great guy. So I'm not just saying this because you're in front of me, but I've heard from numerous kids that, you are like the go-to guy.
I don't care who you are. Where's Lenny? Where's Lenahan?
Their perception of police from what is being, viewed in the media and the press.
I don't see too much. I mean, obviously, if a kid gets a ticket or something, they're always coming right to my door saying I got pulled over, and they don't think they should have gotten a ticket for whatever reason. But they all come and tell me everything. But I don't see any negative attitude towards police in general. I got a good relationship with the kids here, so in my years, and I'm on a lot of them. I'm the second or third sibling that I've known, so I've known a lot of the families for years here. So, besides the security stuff that we do to make sure the building's secure and safe, it's also being in the halls, getting to know the kids, and being more of a mentor and a role model for the kids, and letting them see and interacting with them to show that we're here to be their friend, not just to be the cop who's trying to get people in trouble.
The relationship you had with the kids, man, it was just, you saw that because they were always asking for you, and they always, you just had a good rapport with them. I mean, that was a commendable guy. That took me a long time to get that reputation.
Let's not forget, Lenny came from Milburn first, and I heard he was a real Wyatt Earp.
Milburn PD?
First. He was Milburn.
Sure.
There's people with short hills.
I'm sure that's what happened. Getting out there with the kids it was easy for me. And, working nights, you see the kids around, the teenagers. So just letting them know that we're there to, support and let the kids. We know they're kids. Yeah. So just getting that rapport and stopping and talking to them when you saw them out.
Yeah. We're talking about the ongoing epidemic of heroin and prescription drug abuse and just substance abuse in general and all that stuff. Like, what do you see the exposure? Because we've had quite a few overdoses with young adults.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's important to have those connections with the kids and try and steer them in the right direction. I've known a couple of those kids that have passed away, unfortunately. But on the high school level, I think right now we're actually in a pretty good spot here. Just speaking of Parsippany, my door's always open. Kids always come to me with different things, and I always do my best to steer them in the right direction or get whatever help they need.
There's at least 1,000 students here.
Yeah.
He knows every name.
I wouldn't say I know every name. I try my best. Being part of the community, I grew up in Lake Hiawatha, so I've been here. I know, just people I grew up with whose kids are in school.
I was just
I know a lot of people.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you grew up here. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
No problem. My pleasure.
Our viewers, this is starting to catch on a little bit, so I'm sure they're going to want to know a little bit about that side of it. So I got
to learn about this vlogging stuff because this is my phone that I have.
Oh, no, it's not.
So we're pulling up to Central Middle School now, where Detective Curvin, she has no idea, and she's not going to be happy about it.
Not going to be happy about it, being on camera.
I forgot to grab her a coffee. That's the problem. If I bring her a coffee, the interview goes smoother.
Can't really say anything because you do outrank me, and I know that's not your style, but I'm still going to reserve my comment at this juncture.
I might got a lot smooth from going there with a coffee.
Yeah, but let's see what happens. We'll make it a reality show. Maybe she'll flip a table or something.
All right, let's do it. There's your friend.
Hi, Wilda. It smells nice in here.
It smells nice.
God, it smells clean.
That's my chalkboard. This stuff I wrote, well, me and Sunny. And then the kids can come in, grab a chalk from there, and they are more than welcome to write whatever they want.
It's a window?
It's a window, and there's a class next door.
Oh, no way. What's it covered with?
Chalkboard paint.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Sunny and I did it in like 3 days, right?
Nice. We're good to go. So, hello. You got a smile, though.
No.
A little bit.
No.
I said I'm going to stop and get coffee.
Did. Yeah.
First, and I didn't.
If you blame this on me, this is gonna.
Well, people, we work together.
He said he was getting coffee for Gloria.
He does. He does.
Here, and when I made the suggestion that we go.
Oh, you mean out in the parking lot?
Yeah,
that was my
get
fault.
the
He did.
promise.
He's not lying. I apologize. So we're here with Detective Awilda Curving, my old partner. It's gonna take a minute. Just got a little choked up there.
Sure.
I would miss me too.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Thanks for saying you didn't miss me, but that's okay. I'll get over it.
The schedule in itself alone was a little
challenging.
No, I wouldn't say challenging because for my family aspect of it, it was definitely better. For my personal aspect of it, as far as my sleep pattern and stuff like that, is definitely better.
You have to go to bed at 7 p.m. anymore?
I never could anyways. I have 5 kids. But
5. It's a lot. It's good. I commend it. She gives me these death stares, and then I don't know what to do, and I get nervous.
I can tell she makes you nervous.
why
Be
are you
careful,
sweating?
because
They're not for kids. They're for the kids.
Wilda will stare at you
Chewing gum
and make you say things that you don't want to say.
Tell me about it. I worked with her for how long?
I was gonna say we had fun.
Were you gonna say that?
Lunch together.
She rocks at me.
I was.
I ate decent. She used to yell at me.
Yeah, I used to make sure that he was on his toes when it came to
I mean, the
eating.
sweating that he goes through when he eats.
Or any other time.
I was gonna say, I mean,
This interview's going awesome.
I'm
so
just
far.
waiting.
You got a dodgeball? You
Give him
start
another 5
pelting it at me?
minutes.
Handles high school. You are in the junior high. How is that? How do you find it? Because now the ages are, getting to the cusp of the experimental stages of adolescence and going into the teens and all that stuff.
It is. I think having my 5 children has definitely helped me to kind of ease and be able to talk to the kids almost in like their level, but still be some type of authority where they can that has definitely helped me a lot.
Because
the only time that doors close is when I'm not in this office. One thing that myself and the youth counselor that we have, Mrs. Sunny, we started an 8th grade girls group here in the school. We meet twice a month with the girls, and we just discuss about just issues that's going on right now with the age group and society. Part of the reason of me becoming a cop, it was always that I wanted to help my community, but specifically the kids. I wanted to work with children.
Yeah.
I felt that there's always been a disconnect between the police and the youth.
So what advice are you giving them? If this, obviously it's far away from their age, but at this point, what are you saying to them if that's something that they're interested in?
If it's something that they want to do, whether it's help, their community or whatever the case may be, or just help someone in general, that this will be something, they can look into.
It's rewarding.
We still do investigate juvenile-related issues and crimes. So they will hand everything over to us. We'll charge if it's necessary to charge, and there's technical aspects to that when you're supposed to charge a juvenile. Certain crimes, they cannot be diverted away from the criminal justice system. Right. Those are very serious crimes, and we don't have that problem too often in Parsippany. So state house adjustment is a benefit.
Right.
So the parents come in, the juvenile comes in, the juvenile detective, they all sit down and they agree. This is inappropriate behavior. It's got to stop. This is what will happen if this kind of behavior continues, and we're trying to avoid that.
So it's the warning.
It's a warning. Not all, but many juveniles make a mistake. Right. They made a mistake, and everybody deserves a second chance. Because once you get tangled up in the criminal justice system, it's
hard to get out of.
It's hard to get out of. It's a bad blemish. A mistake you make as a juvenile should not follow you through the rest of your life. Unless,
something of that nature, right?
Something pretty profound, But, many kids make mistakes. And
now, if they're repeat offenders, now it goes into...
Right, so if they're repetitive offenders, they're juvenile impact offenders, these are things that they're doing that while they're minimal issues, it won't stop.
Right.
They need to be addressed. And they lose the option of getting a station house adjustment.
Here with Sunny. She is the youth counselor, correct?
Yes.
Is that the correct title?
Yes.
Youth counselor for all the schools in Parsippany.
Yep.
So from kindergarten on up?
Yep. So I get referrals from administration, school counselors. The school has a program, the district has a program called ESS, Effective School Solutions, and I work very closely with those counselors. It could be anything from, sending an inappropriate picture to maybe something going on at home. I get referrals obviously from our SROs. Whenever they deal with a family or a student, they will send them my way. And I will eventually, what happens is I'll get the referral from them, I'll get their contact information, I will contact the family. Usually I like to have the family come in and meet with the parents first to go over everything with the student. And then from that point on, I will set up a session, usually weekly to start. If I feel like they're making progress and things are okay, we'll go to bi-weekly and then maybe once a month. You have to have an open relationship with your kids.
And like, so as I talk about it now with my son who's 6.
But that's okay.
Talk to him about because they'll stamp some of the heroin packets with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Right.
Or, which is
doesn't
messed
know.
up.
He
If he
could think
sees
it's
that
a
on the
Tic Tac.
ground. Right. And then, so
Right.
I tell him that, if it's not your candy, don't touch it,
Right.
Because it's going to be that experimental stage where, peer pressure and all that come into play. But unfortunately with like the fentanyl chemicals that they put in the drugs that are like lethal
Right.
the first time you use them,
Right.
that's scary.
It's
and that's
tough.
what happened with my cousin,
Right.
He was experimenting. Nobody knew about it, like in his family. Took a lethal dose and that was it, and it sucks.
Not just the one
devastated.
person, it's everybody.
Every Christmas, and that's what people don't understand. It's like you can't experiment anymore. You just can't do it.
You just have to be open with them from the start. Once it comes up, if they want to come to you, you can't get mad, you can't get upset. Don't start accusing them of things, Have the open conversation with them.
Right.
Let them know that you're there to help them and support them. And then my thing is you got to make sure your kids constantly stay active, whether it's in sports or extracurriculars. That's the way they stay out of trouble, If all of a sudden you have a star basketball player and they want to stop playing, well, there's something wrong there. Why don't they want to play anymore? We'll give them something else, swimming, do the play. Whatever it is, stay active. Don't let them roam the streets, at 2 o'clock in the morning to go hang out at Quick Check, because 16, 17-year-old kids shouldn't be doing that.
Right. All right, well, thank you so much.
If you want them.
Do you?
Yeah, they're little stressed people. Stressed police officers.
This is awesome. That's a little figure of me, just with hair.
You can have it. It's yours.
Like, subscribe, share. All right, guys, so I'm here at Parsippany Hills High School with 2 of our school resource officers. You guys are on the Morris Plains section of Parsippany. This is Detective Gloria Ortiz, and we are at her school right now, Parsippany Hills High School. This is Detective Pat McCarthy, who handles elementary school.
Middle school and elementaries.
Which is the Brooklyn Middle School, right?
Yes.
So he happened to stop by, and we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And the 3 of us have actually all worked together at one point on patrol. All I keep thinking about is I'm going to have some of these. How does this work?
I'm lift it up.
It's automatic?
It never works.
It does work.
It's going to fly out.
No, just touch it. There's a round. There you go. Look at that.
See?
You guys seeing this? It's a Skittles dispenser.
It's for my kids. I take care of my kids. Sir, just hold
Are these
it.
M&Ms or Skittles?
No, they're Skittles. Just.
Oh
my gosh.
Casualty. What are you going to do? It's like a 2-second roll on camera.
It was like your bocce hand.
All right, so let's start with the high school kids. I got to this.
So I'm reading a book on anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down.
How is it? Well, I'll get to you in a minute because you're with the younger kids a little bit, but as far as
I treat them like they're my kids.
You're right.
No, I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
I treat them and they know it. I talk to them as if I talk to my kids. I mean, you just heard it right before we came in here. We have a different relationship. They know. I call a spade a spade. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And I'm gonna let you know. But if you tell me the truth, I got your back all day long. If you lie to me, it's gonna be a little bit different. But whether you've done something, if you're guilty of something, as long as you tell me the truth, I have your back to the very end.
Right.
And they know that.
And it's funny, you know, because you're very well respected. All of you guys are so well respected. I deal with the adult community, so I'm dealing with the parents a lot. You know, just by coincidence. So if I'm out in a corporate facility doing some kind of presentation and there just happen to be a parent in town, I hear how much they love the SROs in town. You know, I mean, I don't know if you guys know that or not because you might not see that or hear that. But very well regarded. Substance abuse.
It's here.
Yeah.
It's here. It's here. It's here hard. It's not here like, oh, we're gonna try something here and there. You know, it's definitely here. A lot of times these kids can't talk to their parents because they don't want to be ashamed. So they'll come and they'll talk to whether it be myself or whether it be the student assistance counselor that we have. And I'm brutally honest. Like, dude, I'm gonna give you this little. I always use this as my crystal ball. These little Skittles things. This is my crystal ball, and this is where I see you if you don't cut it out. Now, when I have conversations with the parents, I tell them that as well. I'm brutally honest with the parents as well, and they know that. So
when we were growing up in high school, it was the potheads, the cokeheads. Like you knew the groups. You knew, you know. It's not like that anymore. I mean, you're talking about, you know, prescription meds, painkillers, and it's the jocks, it's the straight A students.
Radar. Some of those kids who are at those parties will come and talk to me, and just because they know it's a candid conversation, people can, the kids can come and talk to me. They're not doing anything illegal by talking to me, meaning like they're not consuming alcohol, they're not, you know, utilizing any of these drugs, so they feel confident enough that, you know, what we talk about in here stays in here. But it gives me a little eye opener, and it gives me the chance to kind of bring these other kids in to try to talk to them before.
These kids have the mentality of they're invincible. I mean, you know, when you were in high school, it can't happen to me. And it's still the same. That mentality.
Definitely.
And that scares the heck out of me having kids because I'm terrified. You know, and
I mean, it's not just the weed anymore. You know, people think it's the weed. I hate to say it, but you know, if it was just the weed, then we can work with that. No, it's just like we're talking about. You know, some kids who say, "Hey, Miss Ortiz, there was this light pinkish rock. You know, when I went down the shore, you know, and it gave me a crazy trip, and I have to turn the computer. I go, you just smoke crack."
I know at my level, the goal is to steer them in the right direction as opposed to getting them
exactly. And that's the same thing here.
Yeah, overall is what the SROs are. Like Lieutenant Dowd was saying, you know, that's the approach. Is not, you know, even Lenny said, like, he tells the kids, like, I'm not here to arrest you. Like, that's, you know, if that happens to happen, okay, that's one thing, but that's not my main goal. It's to get you on the right path.
So that's how you don't betray their confidence. You just talk to them, and actually it's up to you. If you feel that they're in danger, because like I said, sometimes they can just say it just to say it, because maybe they're talking about a friend and not talking about them exactly. So you just can't go to 0 to 100 like, what do you mean? Oh my God! You know, sometimes the conversations are uncomfortable, but you got to get through that. You know, that point of it being like awkward, and just, you know, roll with it. And next thing you know, they'll either say, "Hey, I was talking about such and such," you know, or, you know, "Yeah, it was me," or you know, whatever. So.
At my level, it seems like the parents have no idea that I'm there. And when I talk to them and tell them the services that we have available for them and their families, they're like floored.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you explain some of those services or no?
Mostly with Sonny, our youth counselor. It's basically free counseling.
Yeah. That
can be done during school, like during lunch or an elective. I mean, most families are both parents are working, and it's impossible to find time. Yeah. So it's a huge burden off them.
Yeah.
And then teachers as well come with stuff.
We both have really young kids, so, you know, you see this as what is about to happen. This guy,
right?
Yeah.
I always said I couldn't come into it at her level.
Yeah.
Coming in off of the road, it's like, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm better off at my level. I'm better off with the older kids, and he's, you know, better off with the younger kids.
I actually employed a technique that one of my vice principals used the other day with a student, with my daughter, and it worked.
Which is what?
Phenomenally. Just walking her through the whole thing and consequences, and having her repeat it to me, and we went back and forth for about a minute and a half, and she understood what a timeout was and how she was going to get one.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty great.
It was awesome. All right, well, thank you very much. I know I could feel that.
You can feel it, right?
Eyes are on me. Just the lieutenant is dying to. I'll probably go eat lunch in a minute. Here it is.
He's knocking. He's knocking.
He's gonna lock the door. All right, guys. Well, I guess we're leaving. Can you tell them to like, subscribe, and share?
Like, subscribe,
and share.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thanks,
do the mannequin challenge.
Hang on. We're doing the mannequin challenge? Oh, this is awesome.
Like, share, subscribe. Oh, after we do.
Thank you.